Breaking news from North America, where an unprecedented political shift might reshape global alliances. The European Union's anthem playing across Canadian territories as serious discussions about Canada potentially joining the European Union gain traction. In Washington, tensions escalate as former President Trump's provocative statements about Canada resurface, pushing Canadian leadership to explore alternative partnerships. Prime Minister Mark Carney's first official visits to Paris and London, bypassing Washington, signal a significant pivot toward European alignment. Canada is the most European country outside the continent, Carney declared during his French visit. Several factors drive this potential alliance. Canada's European characteristics, universal health care, bilingualism, and monarchical ties, align with EU values. Recent trade tensions with the United States have forced Ottawa to diversify relationships. The European Union, adjusting after Brexit, sees advantages in Canadian membership. With a new $150 billion defense fund, Canada's military-industrial complex could provide strategic benefits to European partners. From Brussels' perspective, incorporating Canada could create a powerful transatlantic economic bloc. The existing free trade agreement has laid groundwork for deeper integration. However, skeptics raise concerns about sovereignty and geographical challenges. While 40–50% of Canadians view EU membership favorably, critics argue such a move could complicate North American relationships. Canada maintains its NATO commitments and continues supporting Western-backed missions in the Black Sea region, demonstrating its ability to balance international obligations. As Ottawa contemplates a snap election, this discussion about potential EU membership adds another layer to Canada's evolving political landscape. Whether this bold vision becomes reality remains to be seen, but global alliances are shifting in unexpected ways. Stay tuned for further developments on this story. In a surprising shift of diplomatic strategy, Canada is exploring closer ties with the European Union, marking a pivot from its traditional reliance on the United States. Prime Minister Mark Carney's statement that we need to make independent decisions in a multipolar world signals Ottawa's new direction in international relations. This realignment comes after years of trade tensions with Washington, particularly during the Trump administration, when tariffs and protectionist policies impacted the Canadian economy. With 75% of Canadian exports flowing to the U.S., the need for market diversification has become pressing. Recent polls show surprising support among Canadians, with 40–50% favoring EU membership. The enthusiasm is particularly strong among urban dwellers and younger generations who identify with European values and social systems. However, legal and geographical hurdles exist. Article 49 of the EU Treaty limits membership to European states. European Commission spokesperson Paula Pinho addressed this issue, acknowledging Canada's interest while confirming the geographical limitation. Some experts point to a 1992 document suggesting European identity extends beyond geography to include shared values and historical connections. The potential benefits for both parties are substantial. Canada would gain tariff-free access to the European market and greater independence in policy. For the EU, Canada represents an attractive partner with abundant energy resources and technical expertise, particularly valuable as Europe seeks to diversify its energy supplies away from Russian sources. Professor Peter Van Alua of Ghent University notes that membership in the Council of Europe serves as a prerequisite for EU consideration. Despite these obstacles, the discussion of such a partnership reflects shifts in global alliances and Canada's evolving international identity. While full EU membership may remain distant, the discourse signals Canada's determination to reduce its dependence on its southern neighbor and forge new paths in global diplomacy. In a surprising development that's catching attention across the Atlantic, Canada's potential EU membership has become a topic of serious discussion among policy experts. While this might sound unusual, there's precedent for non-European countries seeking EU membership, with mixed results. Let's look at the facts. Southern Cyprus, despite being geographically in West Asia, joined the EU in 2004. Turkey remains an official candidate, though negotiations have stalled. Morocco tried in 1987 but was rejected for not being European. This brings us to Canada's situation. According to expert Van Alua, Canada faces significant legal hurdles. Unlike Cyprus and Turkey, Canada isn't a member of the Council of Europe. Cyprus got in because of its deep historical ties to European civilization. Turkey's case rests on both geographical and historical connections, acknowledged since 1963. Recent polling shows Canadians are split on the idea. About 44% think their government should consider EU membership, while 34% oppose it. A quarter of Canadians haven't decided yet. The strategic benefits for both sides are compelling. Canada could enhance its international influence and participate in environmental and technological projects. For Europe, Canada represents a potential game changer in energy security. With Europe seeking to reduce dependency on Russian resources, Canada's vast natural gas reserves could provide a reliable alternative. Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly has confirmed talks with Europe on defense cooperation. Military experts, including Christian L. Pierre from the Royal Military College of Canada, emphasize the need for strengthening these ties. While legal barriers exist, the geopolitical landscape is shifting. As traditional alliances evolve and new challenges emerge, this unconventional partnership might not be as far-fetched as it initially appears. The question isn't just whether Canada can join the EU, but whether both parties might find ways to deepen their collaboration beyond traditional frameworks. In a significant shift in global defense dynamics, Canada is actively pursuing closer military ties with Europe as uncertainty looms over traditional security arrangements. This development comes as European leaders take steps to strengthen their continental defense capabilities. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has announced a European rearmament initiative, while French President Macron emphasizes the need for European self-reliance. The UK has also signaled its eagerness to participate in this security framework. A key aspect of this partnership centers on energy security. German politician Rodri Keita highlighted Canada's role as a reliable energy supplier, presenting an alternative to Russian sources. Infrastructure limitations currently restrict Canada's ability to increase energy shipments to Europe. Joint investments could address these constraints. Canada's military contribution extends beyond traditional defense roles. The country offers training grounds for European forces and could play a role in ammunition and military equipment production. The conflict in the northern Black Sea region has emphasized Europe's need to strengthen its defense industry. Canada is exploring defense procurement diversification, particularly in fighter jets. While maintaining its F-35 deal with the U.S., Defense Minister Bill Blair confirmed talks with Sweden's Saab Gripen, offering local assembly capabilities. This move aligns with Canada's strategy to reduce dependence on U.S. defense suppliers. The EU's new 2030 security strategy requires member states to source 65% of defense purchases from European Union, Norwegian, or approved partner producers. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's meetings with European leaders suggest Canada's interest in aligning with Europe's defense industry transformation. This strategic pivot reflects changes in global alliances, as both Canada and Europe seek to enhance their capabilities while maintaining traditional partnerships. Breaking news: Canada's bold strategic shift reshapes global alliances. In a significant move that's turning heads across the diplomatic world, Canada is quietly reshaping its international partnerships, signaling a potential shift in global alliances. While maintaining its ties with the United States, Ottawa is increasingly looking across the Atlantic and beyond. Canada recently made headlines by purchasing radar systems from Australia, a move that speaks volumes about its strategy to diversify defense partnerships. This isn't just about buying military hardware, it's about redrawing the maps of global cooperation. There's growing buzz around a question that would have seemed absurd just a few years ago. Could Canada join the European Union? Recent polls show this idea isn't as far-fetched as it sounds, with significant public support emerging among Canadians. Think about it. We're seeing a nation traditionally tied to U.S. influence exploring new alliances. While geographical barriers and EU membership criteria pose challenges, the mere discussion signals a shift in global dynamics. The implications are massive. We're talking about potential changes that could reshape economic partnerships and global security architecture. Canadian politicians are discussing these possibilities in closed-door meetings, while media coverage grows. In today's world of rapid geopolitical changes, nothing's impossible. Remember how the political landscape changed in the former Soviet Republic region? Similar dramatic shifts could be on the horizon. Looking ahead, we'll need to watch several key indicators. How will U.S.-Canada relations evolve? Will European leaders warm to this unprecedented possibility? And how will global security alignments adjust? What's your take on this bold Canadian move? Could we see a transatlantic union that includes the Great White North? Or will traditional geographic and political barriers prove too strong? Stay updated on these developing stories as we continue to monitor this significant shift in global politics.